Africa Unite calls on Africans in Africa and the diaspora, including the descendants of slaves, to unite for the true independence and sovereignty of Africa, which faces the risk of a second colonization
of Africa. Now is the moment. Africans unite. Africans arise for the fight of Africa. The fight for Africa is a call on our conscience. It's a call on our humanity to do something. Our humanity has suffered. Yes, we suffered from slavery, colonialism, imperialism, apartheid, and now we are suffering from globalization. Yes, from the same group of people. Yes, who take from us and come back and give us AIDS. No, we can live for more than AIDS. We own over 45% of the Earth's resources. There is no reason we should live below poverty line. There is no reason 1.5 billion of us are scratching through life instead of living it. Why are we struggling instead of living? They build their economies off of what they take from us and come and slap on us the insult. God aid. We don't need no more aid. We need trade. We need opportunity. We need to be respected. We need to be dignified. We are the first. We are human beings. We are God's people. Now Africans, old and young, female and males, boys and girls, children, all of us must band together in unity now to rescue our countries and rescue Africa. Yes, looking back at our history, no matter the intimidation, no matter the stages and rages they put us through, we must stand tall as Africans. We must unite and fight for the future of Africa. We must start the fight right now in line with the vision of our founding fathers. Marcus Mosiah Garvey said it. Emperor Haile Selassie repeated it. Bob Marley put it in song. Kwame Nkrumah echoed it. Sekou Toure, Modibo Keita, Abdel Nasser, yes, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, yes, Samora Machel, Thomas Sankara, and now Ibrahim Traore. Stand up, Africa! My dear Nigerian people, especially the youths of Nigeria. Hey, Tina Anderson, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Yes, another edition at Channel 1 on ONN. Good afternoon from Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Smart Madu Ajaja, the anchor of Nigeria now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International from Houston, Texas. Hello, the people of the world. Nigeria and Africa from the bondage of a few supported by imperial powers to keep you repressed so that they can continue to steal. Please, if you are just joining us for the very first time, hit this subscription button, subscribe, and help us grow. If you are somebody who has always been here with us, share our message, like, and let us keep on rolling. Yes, it's a great day here. On the offensive influence and access statement by General Michael Langley on Africa because of the symbolic face-off between Captain Ibrahim Traore in the West, inspired by the expulsion of France from Burkina Faso. Understand by the influence of access that General Justice a black man in the Nigerian military. You must understand how offensive, disrespectful, and injurious the arrogant statement means to Africa's continental security in the 21st century. especially with the way they have been conducting themselves. Africa, we have a serious problem at hand, and we must rise to the occasion. Quick notice.
Smart Madu Ajaja, convener of Open Nigeria in Africa, speaks about his disregard for human beings who are treated as if they are sacred cows.
As a sacred cow that cannot be challenged for his or her crimes against humanity. And that tradition, that attitude, that behavior is not going to change today. I was born that way, and no amount of blackmail, threats, intimidation, or attacks will change it.
Smart Madu Ajaja.
Smart Madu Ajaja, CEO of and convener of Open Nigeria in Africa Unite, speaks on the threats of the rest of Tampolo, a notorious oil thief who works for the rogue government.
They know
In Nigeria,
that we speak the truth. Because everything we say right from our private spaces into the public domain, they carry it out. The talk of arresting Tompolo, an oil thief, has once again confirmed that we have always been right and they have been wrong. But the problem I see here with the talk of his arrest is that the man arrested has a filthy hand. So it would be best if the arrest will start with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And then we know that a revolution is in the making in Nigeria.
Smart Madu, Smart Madu.
Smart Madu Ajaja.
Hey, the people of the world, Nigerians, this is a moment. Africans, join us, Americans, yes, Sudanese, wherever you are from the surface of this earth. This is a great moment. Listen to what is about to happen. It's going to be an explosion. Yes, it's all about Africa. Join us right now at ONN.
Smart Madu Ajaja speaks about what it takes to be a true Rasta.
Yes.
Hate, mischief, jealousy, fear, bigotry, and hypocrisy. Judgment is foolish.
Smart Madu Ajaja speaks. Smart Madu Ajaja, CEO of and the convener of Open Nigeria in Africa Unite, speaks on his mission and the dangers associated with it, quoting the inspirational words of Bob Marley.
But he will survive in this great world of competition. No matter what they do, the dread will keep coming through. And no matter what they say, the dread will work stronger. Right, not your right. Right, not your right.
Smart Madu Ajaja.
All right. Good afternoon. It's 2:33 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is yet another explosive edition at ONN of the Nigeria Now program. This is Smart Madu Ajaja, the anchor of the program, speaking. Today, we're going to be talking about a personal letter that I had written on behalf of the whole of Africa, Africans in Africa, and the Africans in the diaspora to the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And that letter is coming underway, and we're going to be talking very deeply about it in just as we progress with this program. Yes, so stay tuned while we get this letter out.
For Africans in Australia, but in the United States, the GNP is $2 trillion.
The American African community is the 10th richest economic power on earth. We own and control almost no institutions. So when you say young people have ideas, but they can't get the funding, it's not because we don't have it in the community. We have it. I just saw when Kamala Harris announced her campaign for presidency a couple of weeks ago. The African American community gave Kamala Harris $30 million in one night. Kamala Harris got $30 million.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you for joining.
And to your point, we got young people.
If you are joining for the very first time, please do us a favor, subscribe to our channel.
We do not prioritize our children. We do not prioritize the advancement of the black community, and we do not prioritize black excellence. And the only way you're going to get us to do that is to take these babies in Australia, Melbourne, Queensland, Sydney, Perth, and you got to raise them with the ambition and the motivation to want to succeed, not as individuals, but together. United we stand, divided
We got to get together. African people. Yes, black man, you got to learn how to work with one another.
The most important job of a school is to socialize. The most important job of a school is to teach the students how to work together for the benefit of the community. Chinese children are not just taught, they're socialized to work together for the benefit of China. Indian children aren't just taught, they're socialized. Black children are taught, they're not socialized. The hardest thing to get black people to do is to work together for their own benefit. And that's why leadership,
We got to
at
change
least
it.
in FDMG, would be a course in and of itself. We're not educating you to go become a billionaire. We're educating you to become a leader of African people, to lead the charge for a new black world order.
We definitely need more role models in the community.
Yes.
100% more
Yes.
leaders, because
Who believe in collectivism,
collective,
not I-ism. Because you have a lot of black capitalists running around trying to convince our kids that you should just imitate white capitalism.
Correct, yeah.
Just be the black Bill Gates. Be the black Donald Trump. Be the black Joe Biden. We don't want to be the black version of white people. We have our own culture, our own ethics, our own economic system. But the problem is we no longer value it. Because what white people did so brilliantly is they convinced their victims to believe that because we dominated you, enslaved you, colonized you, the way that you once lived is irrelevant and ineffective. No, it's not. White people didn't dominate blacks because they were intellectually superior. White people dominated Africans because they were the most ruthless and the most reckless. They completely divorced their political agenda from any ethical or moral platform. African people, we are an ethical people. We are a moral people. We have a cultural code that doesn't allow us to take advantage of people unjustifiably. Europeans don't have that. So the most humanitarian people in history, African people, came face to face with the most ruthless and unethical people to ever walk the earth, the Caucasian. And it was that clash of culture that gave birth to slavery and colonization. I don't know what the G and P.
I wonder why we never saw American journalists like this on TV in Africa. So this man is called Thomas Braden. He was a CIA who later became a journalist at CNN. And this is a show called Crossfire. It happened in 1982. This was a debate between him and this particular man. Now look at what happened.
That's something else that needs to be cleared up, Pat. We're not against the black race. We're not against, we believe in free enterprise for this country. We believe that everyone should have the same rights.
Well, Mr. Wizard, it says right here, wait a minute, Mr. Wizard. Let me interrupt you for a minute, Mr. Wizard. It says right here, you believe in the final solution, which is black repatriation to Africa. Now,
But now look, I'm not going to be cut off.
No, but I'm not going to be shut off either. You're running around on a bed sheet. I don't have the bed sheet. But I just want to tell you, can you imagine, I want to ask you this question. Can you imagine this country repatriating all the black Americans that Pat just spoke about to Africa?
No.
I mean, what kind of nonsense?
No, I can't.
Now, you tell me what you were against. What do you believe in?
What we believe
What are you
in.
for?
We believe in God, we believe in the United States of America, and we believe that God has commanded us to separate ourselves from other races. Not because we hate the other races or because we feel that we're better or worse. But because we feel it's God's commandment. And if you criticize that and our religion, then you're criticizing the Christianity for the last 2,000 years.
You're sitting here in your bed sheet telling us all that the only thing you're for, you're against.
You're really upset about my bed sheet.
Oh, yeah, I think, if I were you, I would be so ashamed of myself. I mean, I can't imagine walking around in that silly costume telling people to be against blacks and against Jews.
Have you ever seen the Pope and the Cardinals in their costumes?
Yeah, but they're religious and they're for something, and you're just nothing but against something, and you're against the very spirit of this country.
I believe in the same God.
You're against the thing.
Nowhere.
You're against the thing that makes this.
Yes, this is a conversation I just wanted to bring to the attention of our global audience.
That makes this country great, and I think you're a disgrace.
There's no reason why in this great land of ours we couldn't have a three-tiered school system: a black school, and a white school, and an integrated school, and give everyone their choice.
I don't know what we're doing in 1982, talking to you.
All right. All right. Yes. And now the letter to President Donald J. Trump is a letter about Africa, what is taking place in Africa. The people of Africa love Donald Trump so much that the moment running to the election that brought him to power in the United States, if Africans were asked to vote, Donald Trump was sure to win a landslide victory. Yes, I am saying it. I didn't vote for him. I hold a dual citizenship of the United States and Nigeria. I am in a good place. I've lived here for 29, going to 30 years. I have all my children born here in the United States. And I am not an illegal immigrant. I came here as a professional. I was recruited way from Nigeria to come and work here as a healthcare professional in the United States. So I did not jump the fence, and I was not shackled. Some of us came voluntarily. Some came created here. Some came as those who came through Mayflower ship. Some were created like dogs across the Atlantic Ocean. Some came on their own volition in pursuit of greener pastures. And that there are yet another group that came. Yet another group that came in pursuit of economic freedom. And fleeing their various countries from persecution, political persecution, and persecution arising from other reasons. This country is a melting pot. Yes, all peoples of the earth are represented here in this country. Yes, and this is the reason why when America makes a decision, it should make whatever policy it crafts, it must craft policies knowing these background histories of the various people who came here. The people we met here were the Indians who owned the land, yes. So we must, it became so compelling to write this letter to President Trump, a man that I've come to respect so much. I didn't vote for him in the election that brought him to power for reasons that I considered very, very, very genuine here at the time, and I have no regrets for it. And this is what makes America a unique country. America, the country of choices. So this is where we are. And if you are joining, before I start reading the letter, we're going to talk about it. You are free. If you want to call us, I left a number where you can call. We will talk about it, express your concern. If you want to appear live on camera, I can bring you on camera. Yes, there ain't no problem about your love for Donald Trump. We don't hate him, but we want him to be a fair and a just president. Yes, so that is what it is. So if you are joining us for the very first time, we don't care if you agree with what we preach here. Put a subscription. Join us because we need you. We need you. We need that variety of opinion. We need people who do not think the same exact way with us to make a serious conversation happen today, as it has always been. So, if you are joining us for the very first time, please, please, please subscribe to our growing global channel. And I told you, like I always say, we are a global movement. And what do we want? We want global peace, global security, and global progress and prosperity. So no one we hate one another for no just cause. We are one humanity, the Almighty God humanity. But I want to remind the people of the world that the first man that was ever created was the black man. Take it or leave it. I did not say it. Science has proven it. The black man was the first. And the first and only relationship that took place between God and man took place between God and the black man. So if you are white, you are Chinese, you are an Indian, you are whatever you are, you have that connection with the blackness. So whether you like it or not, it's up to you to now know that the black man was the first. And it is incontrovertible. But now, to the letter. Again, I remind those who are just joining us for the very, very first time. We want to have a very, very engaging relationship and discussion on this letter that I'm sending across to President J. Trump. I respect him so much because he inspires me, really, from the bottom of my heart. President Trump inspires me. Seriously. His boldness, how he speaks, yes, inspires me a great deal. But before we get started with this letter, I want to say something. I want to educate some people who are ignorant of history, or those who know the history and decide to close their eyes to it because the pendulum is in their direction right now. Yes, the black man has gone through so much. The black race has gone through so much. Africa has gone through so much. I don't remember any race. I can't think about any race on earth that will go through half of what the black man has gone through. And that race is still alive. Yes, what we went through, the black race. And this is the reason why the world must respect the black man. If you don't, we are demanding it now because we've earned it. The most resilient race on earth. Yes, the most resilient race on earth. The race that went through slavery. And let me break it down. 700 years of Arab slavery. Yes, 700 years of Arab slavery. With all the males, all the black slave males were castrated by the Arab slave dealers. They were castrated. What was the reason for their castration? So that the black blood will not be mixed with the Arab blood. And that is why you don't see a lot of black people in the Arab world, regardless of the number of years that they were enslaved. 700 solid years. Which race can go through that? Tell me. Then after the Arab slavery, 700 years. Then came the European slavery. Yes, the European slavery. When their industrial revolution became a global emergency, requiring cheap labor. Yes, the focus was Africa. They came with their Bible, just like the Arabs came with their Quran. Misled our people, told them that God was upstairs while they were surveying their lands below and then taking the minerals. Today is a day for an atonement. If you are a man or woman of conscience, today is a day that you should be broken spiritually to start thinking about how we can build the world that we all can live in peace. That is the reason I am saying this. So that historical background is so important. 400 years of European slavery. that took over 20 million African people across the Atlantic, created like dogs, in their ship, distributed them across Europe and the New World, known as America. Yes, 700 years. On the back of the black man, Britain was built. On the back of the black man, Portugal was built. On the back of the black man, Spain was built. On the back of the black man, France was built. On the back of the black man, America was built. So what did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? And with all this going on, we refuse to die. We refuse to be exterminated. Yes, nobody talks about reparation for the black man, but we hear reparation for the Jews. We hear reparation for this and for that. Nobody speaks for the black man. Nobody stands for the black man. How fair the world is to the black man. And why is it that the black man cannot be allowed to rest? Yes, this is why I'm writing this letter. I carry the message of Africans in Africa and Africans in the diaspora, including the descendants of slaves. Yes, who must now come together, taking cognizance of their sad history, that we must now convert into inspiration for our liberation. Yes, now is the time. Yes, after we went through Arab slavery for 700 years, and they gave us Islam, and then 400 years of European slavery, and we were given Christianity. Yes, Christianity and Islam that made us schizophrenics, distant from ourselves, distant from our land, and distant from our people. Yes, they made us feel like whatever it is for us, by us, is not good enough. Yes, we were educated to be idiots, educated to be inferior. But now, this thing must change. Then came 1884 and 1885. They came together in Berlin. They call it Berlin Conference. What was the purpose of the meeting? To balkanize Africa. Now to go there, what they could not do completely through transporting the whole of Africa to wherever they wanted them, they created a program to do it in their homeland, in Africa. In Africa, we were enslaved in Africa. Those who could not be taken across the Atlantic, those who could not be taken across the Sahara, were now put together in colonies that they called them. That was how fake countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia, and all that came about. Except one of all of Africa's countries are real, or the creation of Africa and the African people. Yes, they created that deliberately to make us not raise questions, to make us not ask questions, to make us slaves in our continent in perpetuity, to make us idiots that are incapable of thinking for ourselves. Everything we do must take permission from somewhere. We have to have validation for us to do anything. Whenever we stand up to do what is right, no. And that was how, well, I will come to that. Berlin Conference led to the creation of fake countries across Africa. And by about 80 years ago, this agitation for the decolonization of Africa that was started in the early 1900s by Marcus Mosiah Garvey grew in strength. Yes, a first line of African freedom fighters came up, very patriotic people. And then they led the continent to independence, very difficult independence. They told us about independence, but actually the independence was synonymous with confusion and poverty. And they managed those who could. Then there were visionaries. Kwame Nkrumah said, look, Looking at the history of what has happened to us, the best thing to do was to form one big country, United States of Africa, he called it. Some people bought into it immediately. There were some who must take permission from their colonial masters. They said they needed some time. That was how that dream was silenced. But that dream is awake today and ready to be activated. And ain't nobody stopping it. We must unite Africa. We must unite Africa. Africa unite is not just another rhetoric. It's a spiritual rhetoric that must come to happen. So they may try, they have tried to stop it, but it's not going to stop. Now we need it more than ever before. Yes, Patrice Lumumba asked questions. He asked a question in 1961. They got rid of him. Little Belgium massacred over 12 million Congolese. And since then, the richest country on earth has never known peace. Congo has been in turmoil since then. Yes, since 1961. Yes, one of the richest countries on earth has not known peace. But imperial forces and their companies come to take mineral resources. Nearly half of the country live in displaced people's camps. How fair the world is. How fair the United Nations is. How fair NATO is. How fair Imperial Europe is. Yes. And they tell us about human rights. How are you telling me about the human rights that you never gave me in the first place? If you valued human rights, you won't massacre 12 million people in Congo. You won't do what you did in Nigeria. You won't do all the crazy things that you've been doing around Africa. And then you don't want to stop. It became a generational legacy to subdue, repress, and exploit Africa and the African people. And this is the question. This is the reason we are writing this letter today. So many have written so many letters in the past. They fell on deaf ears. But you know what? The African consciousness is rising. Africa is getting back on its feet. And this time, and nobody is stopping it. Yes. So, through their colonial arrangement, they exploited all African countries. Yes, without mercy. Can you imagine France? What France did to its 14 colonies in Africa? France was taking for over 60 years, over 500 billion US dollars every year from 14 colonies. And these people who own the resources that France stole for over 60 years and don't want to stop, the people live abjectly below poverty line. They die of all kinds of diseases. And they laugh at us that we are poor people. How are we poor? Is Africa poor? Africa has over 45% of the earth's resources. How is Africa poor? Africa is not poor. It's the invaders that are poor. The invaders who come to take from Africa but give absolutely nothing to Africa. But they come and tell us and insult us with AIDS. They are the poor ones, not Africa. Now, why are they crying now? That young people are now beginning to ask questions. Africa that has a population of over 1.5 billion people as we speak today. The children are asking questions. And you cannot ignore them. You cannot silence them. They are human beings. They have IQ. They look at Europe. A lot of them are in Europe. A lot of them are in the United States. A lot of them are in China. A lot of them are elsewhere, asking questions. They see skyscrapers. They see all kinds of beautiful roads. They understand that things are being taken away from their continent. You know, they are made to travel for hundreds of miles across the Sahara into Libya. Yes, now trashed Libya. Yes, into Libya. And then a lot of them are traded as slaves inside Libya. Some of them die. Along the line, a few escape through the wide Mediterranean. And many of them end up drowning. They are close to the coast of Europe. And those who survive are taken into concentration camps in Italy and other neighboring European countries, where they are fed dog foods, where they are treated like animals under inhumane conditions. These are people, these are Africans, these are human beings like you and I. Yes, from a continent that is the richest continent on earth, but with nothing to show for its riches. Yes. So you think that they will not ask questions? They communicate. And now the internet has made everything easy. In real time, these children are communicating, asking questions about why their continent is as poor as it is. We are now here. We are now here. The world is as crossroads. Like Bob Marley said, he said, free Africa now. For if Africa not free, the world will not be free. And this is what I am calling on those who are saying that they are world leaders. This is why I am writing this letter to Donald J. Trump. For the world to pull back and think, now that it is early in the day. Yes, now that it is early in the day. So we can have peace on earth. Because more Africans will cross. You are not going to stop them. Why are they crossing? They tell you, some of them are saying they are pursuing what was stolen from Africa. So the way to stem the tide of unnecessary migration is easy. It's easy, but I'm going to prescribe that towards the end of this discussion. So this is the reason. Yes, the type of education we are given, we are educated to be idiots. We are educated to be subservient. We are educated to be saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, even when they are screwing us and we are bleeding. Yes, sir, yes, boss, yes. No, we are not going to continue that way. Our children are asking a lot of questions. There are some of us who are conscious, who know what is going on. And that is why they are scared of people like us. They don't want people like us to be in power as president and leaders of our countries. They want criminals like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yes, who is a subject of the letter that I just wrote to Donald Trump that I'm going to read. They want criminals like Bola Tinubu, yes, who have terrible, bad criminal records like he has here. Tinubu stole. He was a drug dealer in America, commercial drug dealer in the United States. He operated in Illinois and Indiana. He was a party to the destruction of Gary, Indiana. Yes, Americans, you are listening to me. Yes, Americans, you are listening to me. Both black and white Americans, you're listening to me. You know Gary, Indiana. You know the state of Gary, Indiana as we speak. Gary, Indiana is a desolate town, a black town, yes, destroyed by drugs, played a role in the destruction of Gary, Indiana. But what did the United States do through Joe Biden? They backed him to become the president of Nigeria against all odds, against the opposition by the Nigerian people. They installed him as the president of Nigeria in an election that he never won. He didn't win. Okay, give us his FBI criminal record here. Joe Biden sat on it. I don't know if Donald Trump is going to release it. We have been asking for it. Court cases have been won, by the Nigerian people, asking that this man's criminal record here in the United States be released. But we are not getting that. Yes. All right. Who is this? You are asking, am I against the United States? No, I am not against the United States. Why should I be against the United States? Listen carefully so you can understand the message. Just listen carefully. If you have any specific question about my position here, please ask the question so that I address your question appropriately. I've lived here. America is a great country. America gave me an opportunity to express myself. No, I can't. But do I like everything that people do in the name of America? No, because some of the things they do not reflect what America is about. So if I find that, yes, I'm going to oppose that for sure. Because I am a human and environmental rights activist. And I'm called by the Almighty God to do my duty. I don't look at faces when I do what I don't care what anybody says or do or does when it is time for us to speak the truth. God brought us to speak truth to power. So this is exactly what we are doing. Oh, come on, let's go. And now we are where we are. Independence that we are granted was fake. African people's independence, none. Tell me one African country that is doing so well. None. Because their independence was skewed. They were not given the real independence. How will you give me poverty and you call it independence? How will you give me an independence and your filthy fingers are in my business? All right? I cannot. You want to own military bases in my country, but I cannot own a military base in yours because it's not in our character to go and want to take advantage of people. We want to live in peace. We don't go out there defending our territory from 5,000 miles. So this is where we are. Why are the French bases in Africa? What are they doing? Who are they defending? Why do we have AFRICOM in Africa? Yeah, that Mr. General something else. Yeah. Yes, and that is their mission. But no African country is making any progress. None. So that is why we must break loose. So we will need help for those who genuinely, because Africa has so much resources. We don't mind sharing our resources because we have so much that can go around the whole world. Come to us with respect. Come to us as human beings. Don't come to us as trash. Don't come to us as vassals. We are not vassals. Yes. We are not vassals. We are here. We are here as human beings. And we respect the world. And we deserve to be respected by the people of the world. And that is what this whole thing is about. And that is why the movement for change and is going through mental and all kinds of going through a lot of things now, especially our consciousness. We are asking too many questions. The young people coming up now are asking a lot of questions about why Africa is this, why is Nigeria this way, why is South Africa that way, why all this and why all that. We must present them an answer. The young people are always asking questions. Young people in America ask a lot of questions. Young people in Brazil ask questions. Young Argentines are asking questions. Young Portuguese, young Britons are asking questions. And there is one interesting thing about the younger generation, united by the power of the social media. I think they want to level up and they want peace in their world. So we who are older than them should be the light that we are. Yeah, we should be the light that we are and that we should be so that we can be able to direct them properly. All right? Dennis CIR, you know, I have a right to kick you out of this. If you can't respect the African people, just get the hell out of this broadcast. This is not a place for people like you. I would love to ask where you are from in the first place. If you're able to tell me where you are from, then I will respond to you appropriately. But be very careful of what you say because your ass is about to be kicked out of this program. All right, Dennis? I hope you listen and listen very, 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 very attentively. Okay. All right. Now, this letter before we go further. All right. Dear President J. Trump, greetings in the name of the Most High. We thank you for the great steps you have taken to wake Africa and Africans in Africa and the diaspora up. The shithole shit was great and most inspiring. And stopping the repressive U.S. aid pacifier was a great clinical finish. Yes. Please do not reverse it. We don't need aid in Africa. Africans don't need aid. Africa is so rich. All right? However, if you, out of your love and concern for the future of Africa, wish to help us further at absolutely no cost to the US and at absolutely no cost to us, and without expecting anything in return, you can support the repressed, oppressed, abused, exploited, and economically disenfranchised people in Africa to remove imperial puppets like Bola Ahmed Tinubu operating in Nigeria, Alassane Ouattara in Ivory Coast, Paul Biya in Cameroon, and William Ruto in Kenya, because they are hurting Africa and the African people really bad. Imperial Europe, especially France. But if not, leave them for the people to handle as the African Revolution, which started in Burkina Faso, gathers momentum. Yes, this is the letter I have written to President J. Trump, and I hope he will consider it kindly. And I know there are people who are close to him who may be able to share this message until it gets to him. If you are a brother Nigerian, an African, and a lover of Africa, even though you don't even love Africa, share this message so that it will go fast and go viral until it gets to President Trump for his consideration. But one more time, I'm going to read it again so that it will register. All right? Again, I start again. Dear President J. Trump, greetings in the name of the Most High. We thank you for the great steps you have taken to wake Africa and Africans in Africa and the diaspora up. Yes, including the descendants of slaves. The whole shit was great and most inspiring. And stopping the repressive USAID pacifier was a clinical finish, a great clinical finish from you. Yes. And that is tough love. You did that to wake Africans up. And we are responding to that therapy. And we thank you. We can't even thank you enough for that. Now I continue. So please don't reverse it. Don't reverse that USAID. We don't need it in Africa. I don't know who started it. We don't need it because it's one of the reasons Africa is on the canvas. We don't need it. USAID, please, President Trump, don't reverse it. You know what it will help us do? It will help us hold corrupt African leaders squarely and roundly accountable because they steal so much. They steal so much from Africa. They steal so much from their countries, and they cover their theft with this aid that America gives to them. America does not need to give any African country any more aid. Don't even give us HIV medicine. We don't need it. Don't give us medicine for tuberculosis. We don't need anything from America or Europe. Africa should go and work. Yes, because the African people became so lazy. They became so lazy because of this aid. We don't need this aid. And that is why many young Africans are running away from their continent. Yes, because they don't have access to opportunity. Yes, the kindness in aid that they give to us from what actually was taken from our continent don't get to the people. Yes, we have the poorest people on earth for no just cause. So it's Africa first. Just you are talking about America first. I love that. So help us refocus. And that is exactly what you will do, what you have done. And we will forever remember you, President Trump. You have done it within a few months. You did what 47 US presidents have not been able to do, including one whose father was an African. I'm talking about Barack Obama. What did Barack Obama do for Africa? He did absolutely nothing. The only thing he did, two things Obama tried to do, was to force us to accept homosexuality as a way of life. Something we do not. We abhor it. Even if we have people who practice it, they can't come in the open to claim that they are homosexuals. Obama, Barack came. Even some governments were threatened here who did not want to implement it. Yes, that was the only thing. The second thing he did was to destabilize the Sahel. Yes, through the attack on Libya, unwarranted attack. And you, President Trump, did not like it. You said it in your electionary campaign how much you detested what happened. You talked about your relationship with Muammar Gaddafi and how much money that relationship fetched you. So now it's time. Now it's time. Now it's time. President Trump, thank you very much. Listen, my thank is from my heart. I am not being mischievous with it because we needed to be reminded rudely, like you did, rudely. Some people think you are a racist, you are arrogant, yeah, especially with the way you came in. Yes, you said it the right way. Nobody could have said it better. You hit the nail on the head. Yes, if you invite me, I would like to come and help you enforce it. Yes, you invite me to come and sit down with you, no matter how short it is, I will. Yes, I will. Because you reminded us. You reminded us. You woke us up. You woke Africa up. You woke this young generation up. Yes, you exposed the corrupt leadership in Africa. I don't know any person who could have done it. Obama could not do it. Obama brought AFRICOM. Yes, what was AFRICOM for? To monitor Africa, to loot Africa, helping the corporations, corrupt corporations in Africa, in America, to loot African resources. Yeah, that's what Obama did, to put AFRICOM in Africa. The AFRICOM is not protecting the African people. You know the truth, and everybody knows the truth. Access and influence. Yes, access and influence. According to General Michael Langley, what is the meaning of access and influence? What are you assessing and who are you influencing? How are you influencing us? Are you influencing Africa to be better people? Are you influencing the Africans to hold their leadership accountable? Yes. Yes. You know, Donald Trump, you are a man of truth. And I pray and hope that you do not deviate from the truth. You came coming in the name of Jesus. You came coming in the name of God. You created a spiritual cabinet, people who advise you on spiritual matters, yes, on religious matters. Now, if you are a child of God, like you say you are, you must do right, Donald Trump. If you came, a lot of people, especially in Africa, they see you as a Messiah. If you don't know now, know today. If you don't know now, know today. The African people, unless you do something different. How Africa had you up to a few weeks ago, they saw you as a Messiah. Remember, there is religious persecution going on in parts of Africa, including Nigeria, where I come from. Those who are Christians, they see you as the Messiah who will set them free. So if you go and start doing something opposite of what you make them believe that you are, they will not be happy with you. Yes, you will lose their support, you will lose their respect. So I'm telling you what Langley will not tell you. Langley is a soldier, all right? Regimented, perhaps an economic soldier, who thinks that the geopolitical interest of America in Africa is in jeopardy. And he has to lie to you to make you make very bad decisions about Africa and how you will engage Africa. Please, sir, General Langley is a black man who perhaps does not know his history. Because if General Langley knows his history, he won't take on that assignment. He won't be making the pronouncements he's making. He's not making his pronouncement on behalf of America. Please, double check and make sure that before you make any rash decision, that could become regrettable later, that will cost human lives like it did before. We are tired of losing our people. We lost them Lumumba. We lost Lumumba because of the game of geopolitical economics. We lost Thomas Sankara again because of the interest of France. We lost Samora Machel. Samora Machel was the president of Mozambique, next door neighbor to South Africa. They blew him up in the air because of his principled position against apartheid. Yes, we lost so many people. We are not prepared to lose anymore. We are not going to lose Ibrahim Traore. This is the message. We will not. You know, they made us hate Robert Mugabe, one of the brightest African minds. Yes. One of the most educated African leaders. Yes. What was the problem? At independence, prior to independence, they agreed about land distribution. At independence, he called them, now let us start the implementation. Britain will not have it. All right? He went ahead as the head of state of his country and started the land distribution process. They ganged up together, the European Union, NATO, and they lured America into it. And they put sanction. You can't put a sanction on a country with millions of people, including children and women, vulnerable women and children, who will suffer. These people suffered. Bread vanished. Everything vanished from their shelves. And before it was too late, Mugabe became a demon, a man who fought for his country, a man who put his life on the line for the liberation of his people, now became suddenly a demon by the same people. They did everything until he died like a rat. We are not going to have it anymore. You can't put a sanction on one person, on a country because of one person. And whose interest are you helping? Millions of people died from the sanction. Just the same way millions have died in previous sanctions. We are not taking it anymore in Africa. So, but if you want some bad leaders in Africa that you can help us remove, I will name them. But let me finish this. All right, please don't reverse the USAID. We don't want it reversed. We don't want aid anymore. Africa must be able to feed itself. Africa must be able to fend for itself. Africa should be able to develop its own agriculture. Yes, if genuine help comes from outside, we don't mind taking it from genuine friends who love us and they want to be in a win-win situation and not an exploiter-slave relationship. We don't mind. We don't care where the people come from east, west, north, and south. All they need to do is come to the table with clean hands. We will deal with them. So, Caesar, do not reverse the USAID decision that you have made. Because some criminals who are administering this fund have used it to support terrorism in Africa. They have used it to steal minerals from Africa. But it's a good intention. It was a good intention. But because you are the president of the United States, you can't see everything. You know, the chances are that mistakes will arise. But I am so happy that prior to you coming, you already knew so much about all the loopholes that criminals who run from the United States, including those who use this aid to defraud American taxpayers' money. Yes, to go and pretend that they are giving aid to Africa. Go to villages, recruit a few hungry children, and put them on CNN. The whole of Africa is hungry. It's a lie. So I'm so happy that you saw it and you nipped it in the bud. Let it stay like that. That will wake us up to do more. However, if out of your love and concern, compassion for the future of Africa, wish to help us further at absolutely no cost to us. We don't have money to give any interest, at absolutely no cost to us. And without you expecting anything on behalf of the United States in return. You can support the repressed, oppressed, abused, exploited, and economically disenfranchised people in Africa to remove imperial puppets like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a drug dealer, a certificate forger, and an identity thief, a blight on who we are as Africa and African people, are now operating in Nigeria. Al-Hassan Ouattara in Ivory Coast, with whom Michael Langley have been meeting, yes, for whatever purpose. All right. Now, another one, Paul Biya. Paul Biya became president of Cameroon in 1982 when I left high school. That's over 40 years ago that I left, left high school. He has been president of that country. Do you know Paul Biya is about 92 years old? He's still the president of Cameroon. I know America will not allow that still. Yes, America will not. He has lost his testamentary capacity. Now, when he's even trying to say hello, they have to hold his hand. You know what? Paul Biya is running in the next Cameroonian election. That is what France wants for Africa. And we don't want it for ourselves. And I want to remind you that there's an ongoing war right now in Cameroon. Yes, a section of Cameroon. One of them, the English-speaking part of Cameroon, does not want to be part of the Cameroon with Paul Biya as president. You want to know about the massacre that is going on every day there, unreported? CNN does not see that. The Western media never sees that. The only thing that they see is bad leaders. Ibrahim Traore is this. He's abusing the media. He's repressing the media. But France does not see what Paul Biya is doing. The CNN is not seeing what Paul Biya is. I know the kind of resentment you have for CNN, President. You call them fake media. They are fake, truly fake media. And I love you for that. You know, the fake media does not report all those. So you are a man of conscience, President Trump. Help us. If you really want to help us from a humanitarian ground, I know what it takes to gather troops together for an operation outside the shores of the United States. It costs a lot. It costs a lot. And for you, as the president of the United States, to commit the lives of Americans, the precious lives of Americans, to fighting for the liberation of countries outside America, that is costly. And that is why we are asking, can you do it for us for free? Can you do it for us for free? Because we don't have the money. We don't have the resources to pay for all that. And the human lives that will be lost, that is irreplaceable. That is irreplaceable. So that is expensive. Can you do it for the people of Africa? We need Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed right now. That is how bad, because the man has endangered our country so badly. Nigeria could explode any moment from now. President Trump, I'm telling you this. I know that your intelligent gathering agencies will tell you this. You know that. I know that as a Nigerian. I know that too as someone with an understanding of how intelligence works. Yes, and what is taking place right now inside Nigeria. Nigeria runs the risk of a total collapse. I'm talking to you. It could happen any minute from now if care is not taken. So are you willing to step in for Nigeria? Are you willing to step in for Nigerians, black people in America who feel concerned about the danger one strategic country in Africa is about to slide into? Yes, can you do that for us without expecting anything? Can you do that for us? Yes, our people are repressed. They are being exploited. And you want to know the beneficiary of the exploitation of France? Of Nigeria? It's France. France France that was driven away from Burkina Faso, driven away from Niger, and driven away from Mali, is building a nest in Nigeria. The rogue president of Nigeria hardly goes without being in France in 1 month. Yes, the last one, he was there for 2 weeks. What was he doing in France? I believe he has a house in France. France is like his backyard. Sometimes we know when he goes. Majority of the times we don't know. What business does he have with France? What is he doing with Emmanuel Macron? Yes. Yes, that's what. He's the one benefiting. Not America is not benefiting. So this is why we are calling on you. Do not put America's might. Do not put America's military might behind what France is doing in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Niger, and in other countries in Africa. Please, sir, do us this favor. Because remember, I will remind you of your electioneering campaign rhetoric. Most of the things you said about NATO, about the United Nations, and about the European Union. Please, sir, President Trump, I am begging you to do not put America's might behind this evil. It is evil. You came on the platform of the Almighty God. You came with the Bible in your hand. Please, sir, Donald Trump, do not put American lives on the line. Do not risk American troops because of France's subversive work in Africa. No, they know what they are about to lose. They know the sin that they have committed against Africa. They have to come to terms with that. They have to apologize to the people of Africa for what they did to Africa, what they did in Africa. I'm talking about the whole of Europe. Yes, America should not. America should be the beacon of hope that we grew up knowing that it was. Please, sir, do not commit to what they are about to do. A second colonization, very violent colonization, is what they are planning. Don't put your American might behind it. Please, sir, let me conclude this letter before I continue. So, if you, out of your love, compassion, and concern for the future of Africa, wish to help us further at absolutely no cost to us, and without expecting anything in return from us, you can support the repressed, oppressed, abused, exploited, and economically disenfranchised people in Africa to remove imperial puppets like Bola Ahmed Tinubu operating in Nigeria, Al-Hassan Ouattara in Ivory Coast, Paul Biya in Cameroon, and William Ruto in Kenya, because they are hurting Africa and the African people really badly for the benefit of imperial Europe, especially France. But if not, leave them for the people to handle, as the African Revolution, which started in Burkina Faso, gathers momentum. This is what the African people are saying. And this is what they told me, because I gathered their opinion before I drafted this letter to you, President J. Trump. We will appreciate if you consider this message and act with it when they come to you, because they are going to come to you because of the global power that the United States is. They are going to come to you to want to make you sign off on their next plan to destroy Africa. Yes, hundreds, maybe less than about 100 and something years after their Berlin Conference in 1884 and 1885. Another conference is in the making, and the conference is about the total seizure and occupation for keeps of Africa. But we, the children of Africa, in this generation, are conscious and are telling them that they cannot do it. What they did to our ancestors, we are not going to let them do it to us. Yes, yes, it's time. That is why we are saying that you should, if you truly want to help us. If you cannot, just leave us alone. Let us deal with them, because we can handle them. We can handle the puppets that have been holding our people in captivity. We can deal with them. This is our continent. It's our call. Yes, it's our call. Our land, yes. John Gemma, yeah, Nigerians need revolution. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is why we are telling them to not be in the way of our revolution. If they are true, America had its own revolution. France had its own revolution. Africa did not put its nose there. So let us deal with our monsters. They are our brothers and sisters. We will not allow them to hold us in captivity on behalf of their slave masters. We are not slaves. We are a free people, but we must assert our freedom. And to assert our freedom, we must assert the ownership of our continent and the resources inside it. We appropriate our resources and share with whoever we want to share with. That is what we believe.
Dear Nigerian youth, my name is Madu, Ajaja. I am from Delta State of Nigeria. I love Nigeria so much. Yes, I don't even know how to quantify it. Yes, how much love I have for Nigeria. But I'm sad with the way Nigeria is being eroded violently out of existence by a few people who have instilled fear in all of us to the extent that nobody can raise a finger. And instead we are joining their party of political thugs, party of terrorists and bandits. Follow me, Nigerian young people. Please, I want to save you. I want to inspire you to save yourself and save Nigeria. Follow me at the Open Nigeria Now movement on Facebook. Let us start a conversation on the way forward on how to build that critical mass of critically conscious Nigerians so we can free Nigeria now and not tomorrow.
Yes. It's been such a wonderful moment, wonderful moment, spending this great time. You got the letter. Please do me a favor, do Africa a favor. If you're a child of Africa, you must share this message like never before. You must share this message. Our mother Africa is crying. Our mother Africa is bleeding. He wants her children to save her. They are raping her, and with the help of her own children. And that makes it so sad. We are in a revolution mode now. Let's go. Yes, Africa is calling. Africa is calling on all of its children from the east, west, north, and south, from the diaspora, Africans in the Arab world, Africans in America, Africans in Africa, Africans in Europe, Africans in India, Africans in Brazil, Africans in everywhere. Get up and stand up for the motherland. Yes, the motherland is calling. You can't do anything now but rise up for the motherland. Yes. Yes, Nigerians, John Gemma, he said Nigerians need a revolution. Your land is filled with natural wealth. You must organize together and speak with one voice. See America in 1773. Revolutions cures oppressions, my brother. Much love, John Gemma. I love you. I love you for this. I love you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. It's Nigeria's time. Miss Trans, thank you. It's African time. It's Africa's time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at all these comments. I wish I could read all of them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you, John Gemma. He said the Nigerian families I support too have named their newborn children in my name. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate you, John. We appreciate you. I will love you. I have said for years, you must organize and speak with one voice. I wish you freedom, my brother. Much love from here. Thank you. I love you. Mary Brooks, show the world how great Africa is. Don't back down. This is the time in history. No, there's no backing down. We are not backing down. We're not backing down. We are not moving backward. It's forward. Yes. Let's get to work for our future. Africa will once again be lined with streets of gold. We'll be free. Thank you, eternal peace. We appreciate that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes. Again, John said, in your millions, you must speak with one voice. Africa strong. Sure, sure. Yes. Mary Brooks said, USA stand with you. We love that. We love that. We love the USA. Yes. Wow. This is a lot. Akebulon is Africa's original name. Take it back. Yeah, we are taking it. That is it. That is the spirit. That's the name. Much love from ONN. Much love from Smart Madu Ajaja. Yes, in this great future, we won't forget our past. Rastafari! Wow! 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 No, 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 woman, no cry. Yes, John Copenhagen, I'm glad that Africa is working and doing their own part. And if not, that idiot. All right. Oh my God. Hey, man. You know, I'm so glad. I mean, I believe this is the best I have done since doing this. And the response is phenomenal. I want to leave one more message for President Donald Trump. Please, sir. Ibrahim Traore is a young man, 37-year-old young man. Yes, angry young man with so much questions about what happened to his fatherland. And that was why he knew he couldn't come through the ballot, because the ballot system in Nigeria, in Africa, is messed up. Because the balloting system in Africa never produces the outcome that the people expect. And President Trump, you know that. Elections in Nigeria, democracy in Africa is a huge joke. And that is why young people are not doing it the other way. Because I am speaking from the experience of being a Nigerian. I left here in 2019. In 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, up to 2019. I was going home, looking at what was shaping in Nigeria, and how Nigeria was being degraded. I went home. I am not a politician by nature, but I am a leader. I thought I could offer something through leadership in Nigeria. Looking at the quality of representation and the inspiration I received from Senator John Cornyn here in the United States, the senator that was representing Texas, John Cornyn. John Cornyn inspired me. Now, let me tell you my story with John Cornyn and how he inspired me and what happened after that lured me into running for Senate in Nigeria. After the 9/11 terrorist attack, a friend of mine, a brother of mine, visited from Nigeria because in Nigeria, in those olden days, I don't know what it is now, because Nigerian academic curriculum is messed up. It was bad before because we're not being taught what we were supposed to be taught about who we are. But we studied regional and world geography. So we studied the geography of Galveston. And then when this guy came, he told me, Smart, I would love to go to Galveston Island. And he came with his family. So I went with him to Galveston Island. While we were there, we were having a lot of fun. You know, we're taking pictures, you know, the family came with family, his children here, the wife and everybody. We were taking pictures, the fun of our lives. We took so many pictures. And of course, he was returning to Nigeria with all those pictures, you know, to show and display on his wall. I did not have any other thing on my mind why we were taking so many pictures. But to cut the story short, I woke up one morning. I was woken up by the FBI. My wife, they came, I was in the bathroom, and then they came knocking hard at our door. And then she opened the door for them. And then they told her FBI, we are looking for Smart. So she rushed into the room where I was, asking me, what did you do? What did you do? I said, what did I do? I don't remember doing anything bad. I would believe that you know me already. He said, well, FBI is here. So I ushered them in. There were two. One of them was black, and the other one was white. The white one was so rude and disrespectful. So I told him, no, you can't come to my house and be disrespecting me. I don't have any bad history of criminality here. So if you want to talk to me, I would prefer that you address me with respect. If you want to, me to cooperate with you. So that was when the black guy cut in and said, okay, we are FBI. Were you in Galveston a few days ago? I said, yeah. They said, is this why you are here? They said, yes. I said, okay. So they sat down and they started asking me questions. How I came into the United States and, the airports that I passed through, where I first landed when I came here, because I came from South Africa to the United States. I was working in South Africa before I got a job here, to work in the U.S. So I left what they call the Oliver Tambo International Airport, which was then it was Ian Smoot International Airport. So I told them I stopped over in Rome. Which airline did I use? Alitalia it was, and they asked me questions. So every question they asked me, they look into their computer and then it registered and they would nod. Up to my arrival in JFK and how I went to Dallas from JFK and all that. Then came to Houston. They asked me all those. And I thought it was over. So when they were leaving, I offered the camera. I told them, if you want the pictures or you want to see anything inside the camera, you can have it. They said no. The guy said, no, we are satisfied with your answer. And I thought that was the end. You know that my green card was torpedoed for 10 years. My green card, yes. I couldn't travel to Nigeria. I couldn't go do anything. So this thing started taking so long a time. And I got really worried. I have my mother, I have my family members at home. I couldn't go to visit my mom. My prayer had always been, oh, I don't want anything to happen to my mom, and I'm not able to be at her funeral. So this thing we thought was a joke started getting really intense. Then I would go to the immigration office and they would tell me that they were doing name check on me, name check. This name check never ended. I was wondering what name check meant. So I got my lawyer involved. So he explained what name check meant, like there's something going on. Wow. That was how we decided to call the senator representing us, John Cornyn. We called John Cornyn. John Cornyn answered through his office here in Houston. So he directed me to take all my immigration documents to his assistant in his office in Houston. You won't believe, within 3 days, John Cornyn called me by himself. He called me. I am from Nigeria. I don't know if any Nigerian senator will call you, have the time to call you, to want to have a discussion with you. John Cornyn called me, and I had a 30-minute discussion with him. He told me, Smart, I have all your documents. I've gone through your thing. You are a good guy. But I'm going to do some more investigations to find out what's going on. It wasn't another 3 days. John Cornyn flew into Houston. And I met him. We discussed my case. That was when he told me, he said, Smart, you are in a deep trouble. I said, what do you mean by being in a deep trouble? He said, your file is on the table of the US president. You are being investigated for connection with terrorism. Yes, I am not an Arab. I am not a Muslim. And that was the last thing I would conjecture to do anything that will hurt the United States. I was like, are you serious? He said, yes. He said he cannot influence the outcome of the investigation. The investigation could last 1 year. It could last 2 years. It could last 10 years. It could last 30 years. They can keep it for as long as they want. But the good thing, according to him, what he told me was that as long as I remained in the United States, I could go about my business. So I was like a rabbit in the cage. And I remember on the day this terrorist attack took place, I just arrived Omaha, Nebraska, off of a Southwest airline flight. I was in the chemistry department at the University of Nebraska in Omaha, waiting for one of my friends who is a professor there. You know, he was in class. So I was watching the television in their common hallway, you know, when the first thing happened. And then, wow, for a few seconds, another one happened. Then the headline news changed. America under attack. Yes. Yeah, I was stuck in Nebraska for 1 week before I could travel. We were the very first set of people who dared ventured into an aircraft in the United States. I remember the flight that took me from Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska to Houston. We were not up to 10 persons, not up to 10 passengers in that Southwest airline flight. Everybody was scared. Everybody was scared. Yes, that's my story. And then John Cornyn told me, you have to be patient and just go about your business. I used to travel around the United States. Most of the time, 90% of the time, I was in the air. But I now started noticing something, that whenever I went to the airport to take a flight, I was treated like a criminal. I was stripped bare so many times. Some embarrassing searches. 2 that hurt me so badly mentally was one that took place in Spokane, Washington. I went there on business, finished business. I was happy getting back home. And then went through the security checking. I always carried cash, large sums of money, because of the nature of the business I was doing. And then this young lady took my pouch with a lot of money inside it without my permission. She went into a room and then came back and started asking me, how did I get all this money? I said, you did something wrong. I understand that there is need for security. You can't take my pouch inside your room and then came back to start asking me questions. And now, what if I told you stole my money? And then one of his superiors got wind of what was happening, and he knew that what she did was wrong. I was searched so badly. But the girl, I don't know if they fired her, they took her somewhere. I was cautioning her. Then the second one was in Lubbock, Texas. I finished my business activities for the week. I was heading back to Houston, happy, looking forward to meeting my family in Houston. And what happened was terrible, 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 terrible. I was checked in, went into the flight. Right before the pilot started taxiing off, they stopped him and bundled me out of that flight. Yes. They brought me out of that flight like a criminal. And I went through another round of searching. In fact, I was stripped naked. My whole clothes, I removed everything. They were looking for what? So I had to be patient. I missed that flight eventually. Then later they put me in a flight that was going to stop in Dallas. Dallas wasn't my original destination, so I was now going to have to stay overnight in Dallas, and I was put in a crappy hotel that I would not, in my own life, put myself as a businessman. But they won't allow me make an external arrangement. So I stayed in that hotel. In the morning, I went to the airport to continue my flight to Houston. Come and see search, another round of search. In fact, like those guys were on a mission to get me angry so I could be arrested. So when I discovered their disposition, I had to keep calm. I stayed through it. They did all they wanted to do before they allowed me. They took my toothpaste and my lotion. I wasn't supposed to. I said, whatever, take it. They took it. And then I started seeing, when I'm driving, I resorted to driving. I drive long distance. There's no place in the United States, in the continental United States, that I have not driven to. I've driven many times to New York, Los Angeles, everywhere, Ohio, because I had to survive. I had to do my business. So flying was no longer fun. So I didn't care about jumping into the plane anymore. So I started driving, And what I discovered was America spends so much money monitoring me, which is good. I wish they are doing that in Nigeria. We won't have the type of things that are happening in Nigeria where some terrorists will come, bandits will come, put children in a whole elementary school, put them in a bus and drive them away, and nobody knows anything. Nobody is held accountable. Nobody is arrested. All we start hearing is about the negotiations for ransom. Nigeria is whacked right now. It's sad, So I don't feel bad, when it comes to security is of importance. But how people push it sometimes, they push people to the edge to get them do or say crazy things that they are not supposed to be saying. Every hotel I stayed in, they knew. When I'm driving, I'll be seeing my image being taken. Satellite picture, they followed me. America spent millions of dollars following me. Yes. And that is why I am for Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians don't understand what drives me to do what I am doing in Nigeria. I wish they understand. I hope if they see this, they will understand a clearer picture. So John Connor inspired me. He was a great leader. He is. I hope he's still alive. He's a great guy, very great guy. He showed me that leadership is about compassion. Leadership is about sensitivity. Leadership is about responsibility. Leadership is about passion, love for people. He's white, I am black, but he came as the true leader he was. He sat down with me. He gave me a pat in the back. He said, "You are not a criminal. I know for sure you are not. You are not a terrorist. You have nothing to do with terrorism. But this is our country. You know what the country is going through right now." Yes. So that was how my green card was held for nearly 10 years. My green card was released on the last day of December 2008, the very last day. I remember that early morning, the phone that I never answered, my house phone, I hardly answered it. And it was on my side of the bed. That phone rang about 6 a.m. I picked it up. And the lady called and said it's from the Department of Homeland Security. And she said, "Sorry, it took too long, but we had to do what we had to do. We have discovered that you have no ties with the people who want to hurt our country. But I want you to come and take your green card today." And I told her, "No, today is the last day of the year. I am not going to leave my house to go to the Department of Homeland Security. So we can do it after the first day, after the first of the year, like Americans will say." So she said, "No, you have to take it today." I said, "No, I am not leaving here today." And I really wasn't in the mood to leave my house on that day. So she sent me a message that I should sign a release that I was the one who refused to come and take it. I said, "I don't mind." She sent me a fax number. I faxed the letter releasing her of any responsibility for what happened, And then she wasn't satisfied. He said, "I am on a mandate." She called back, "I am on a mandate to release your green card today." I said, "Ma'am, but I understand that, but I'm not leaving my house today." You know what happened? My green card was delivered by a special UPS delivery on December 31st, 2008. Yes. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean. Keep your hands clean wherever you are. Yes. That's what inspired me to do what I'm doing. And this is what should inspire anybody who wants to go into leadership position, that requires you serving the people, serving your country at whatever level. That is the inspiration that I have to do what I am doing in Nigeria and by extension, Africa right now. Africa must unite. Africa must be set free. Africa must break from its colonial past. Yes, colonialism has taken place. Slavery took place. Yes, imperialism, apartheid, and all that. Now is Africa's moment. We got to change something. And we must not be apologetic to anybody for working for the good of our continent. Yeah, and this is the reason why I sent this message to President Donald Trump. And though I said this, Ibrahim Traore is representing the whole of Africa. And it's very, very dangerous to do anything that will hurt him. It's the whole of Africa. They don't even care if the whole of Africa is to starve to death. They will stand by him. They understood, they learned things from what happened to Mugabe. They learned from what happened to Samora Machel. They learned from the pains Nelson Mandela had to go through. They learned from what happened to Thomas Sankara. Yes, now is the time. The African people are willing to make that sacrifice that is needed and is compelling for their continent to be set free and for their sovereignty to be respected and for their territorial integrity to be a thing that they will cherish. We want a United States of Africa. The dream, the vision of our founding fathers led by Kwame Nkrumah, Emperor Haile Selassie, Modibo Keita, Sekou Toure, and the rest of them is about to happen. And Africa will be free. Thank you very much for joining me in this historic program. And I don't apologize for the position that I have taken. We are Africans. I am an African. I hold a dual citizenship of the United States of America and Nigeria. My country here must do right, and that those who lead this country must do right. Especially when you come in the name of God, you must follow through. And that let's do things with our conscience and know that these people who live in Africa, they are not animals, they are human beings. I don't care how you felt about them before, but times are changing right now. And this train that has come, this Zion train that has come, I don't see anybody being able to stop it. So let us walk, and we can still share the abundance of Africa. Let us share with respect with the African people. And the world has everything to go around. Why can't we live in peace? And why can't we live in harmony? Why can't we have respect for one another? Why can't the world be a peaceful place? This is my message to you today. Goodbye, and I look forward to seeing you in my next broadcast. And please, if you just joined us for the very first time today, I enjoin you, I appeal with you, even if you don't agree with the position we share. Let's be there. We don't want to be in a bland relationship. We want to have something that is contentious, that we can discuss with respect, mutual respect for one another. So join us today and be a part of the ONN community. So we can use 1,000 likes. We can use 1,000 subscription this moment. I know it's a lot of thousands of people who joined to listen to this historic broadcast. So please, before you leave, do us one favor. Just hit that subscription button, and we will appreciate you. And for those who want to support our work, because we need materials, we support a lot of people. Like what happened today in Nigeria, I just woke up. I felt so sad, receiving a message from a young girl. I wish I can lay my hand on it and read it. I did not copy it out in a manner where I can read it. Yes, she's a young girl in her 20s, right? In her 20s. I just want to bring to your attention what is happening in Nigeria as we speak. Nigeria is not doing well at all. But we have criminals holding the country hostage, junketing the world, yes, at the expense of the Nigerian people. This young lady sent me a message, sent me a very bad short video. Yes, I don't blame her. I am a father of 2 daughters. I broke down crying after reading her message. I refused to watch the video that she sent to me because she already explained what was in it. It was a pornographic video that she had to do to survive, to be able to feed herself and feed her own little child. She has a little child. Yes, I remember in the 80s, when Ghana had an economic meltdown, what the people of Nigeria did to young Ghanaians who were scratching through life because of the economic conditions in their country. Now today, we, the people of Nigeria, are facing the same thing. Yes, this young girl, very desperate, sent me a message, pornographic. Yes, I am a man, I love women, but I don't take advantage of women. She sent this, I said, I'm so sorry, I have to send you this image of me, naked image of me. I felt that I have to do it, to gain attention. My baby needs some food. I don't have any way to survive, to give her anything to eat. We have not eaten since the past 4 days. Yeah, you can imagine a young girl so desperate. And then what struck me was my 19-year-old. Another was my 25-year-old who could be in this very, very vulnerable situation. What would they do when they find themselves? This is what is taking place in Nigeria right now. And this is another thing President Donald Trump must hear. I believe that somebody is going to share this message to the point where he will get it, to see what is going on, so that when they take some of these decisions at the higher level, so they know how much they hurt the majority of our young people who are living below poverty line, really in extreme poverty. It is a very sad thing. So please, if you feel like from your heart of heart, I do a lot of charity work. A lot of times, like right now, I am broke from helping people in Nigeria. Because I don't blame them. It's because of the situation in the country. So support us by joining our membership, whatever you do, give us super thanks to support our work. We extend across Africa. We will appreciate you. Thank you very much, and God bless America. God liberate Africa. The world must hear the true story of Africa. The new Africa will emerge, a new Africa that will respect the whole of the world, a new Africa that will truly open itself, yes, like it has always been open, though violently against its wish. Now, the openness is going to come from the heart to share her riches with the world. Bye for now. Much love. And I love you all. I cannot even read the hundreds of messages here. I wish I could. I would read every page, every sentence here. But please forgive me for that because of time crunch for this. Thank you very much. Bye for now.